Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at how to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar with one of the many different box sets we have available to us. In this video we'll go through each unit, looking at the basic rules and stats for all of them inside the box, along with how they work as an army on the table. And at the end of the video as well, we'll also show you a sample army list, putting everything we talk about in the video into practice to hopefully inspire you to start your own army in Warhammer Age of Sigmar. In today's video, we're going to take a look at getting started with the Slaves to Darkness in Warhammer Age of Sigmar using the new Darkoath army set. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames, from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. The box set is led by a Darkoath Chieftain on Warsteed. This model has 7 wounds and a 5+ save. Not the most survivable, but with less than 10 wounds it's able to hide nearby other friendly units. It has an okay melee profile with some small mortal wound potential, and the Destined for Glory rule will allow it to do 2 heroic actions instead of the normal 1 allowed for heroes, though it can't double up on them. The Oath of the War Leader it can do when it completes it, if it is the first friendly unit to fight in a combat phase, and when it does do this completion, it will be able to give out an aura of +1 to wound in a 12-inch radius around it. Next up we have our core, which is a big lot of 20 Darkoath Marauders. These are relatively cheap warriors, but rather frail with just a 5+ save. However, when slain and nearby a friendly Darkoath hero, they can potentially deal some mortal wounds back to the enemy. The Standard Bearer will give them +1 bravery, and the Musician will add +1 to their charge rolls. Meanwhile, when they make a charge roll of a 7 or more, they will complete their Oath of the Marauder and gain some rend on their weapons. Darkoath Felriders are the unit of cavalry we get in the box set. The Musician and Standard Bearers will provide the same benefits as the Marauders. Meanwhile, the Swift Attacker special rule will help protect them from shooting and the Unleash Hell command. Oath of the Raider, which they have, is completed when you complete a charge against an enemy unit not already in combat with any of your other units. And lastly, when they do so and do this, they will get some rend on their weapons, and they do also have a shooting weapon profile that they can choose to take, which gives them a low volume of decent damage short range shooting attacks. The Wilderfiend is last, and it's an interesting model. When models are slain nearby, it'll gain ritual points, and if these are Darkoath models, it'll actually gain more ritual points. And at the end of your hero phase, you can give out buffs to friendly units, such as Strikes First. You can deal damage to enemy units, or stop enemy units being able to receive command, or just simply heal this model and even give it extra wounds than what it started with. Its Fel Aura means this model isn't visible to anything more than 12-inch away, and the Cursed Origin special rule will allow it to be brought back from the dead if a Darkoath character is slain. While not a Darkoath character, I think in the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, having a Chaos Sorcerer Lord is a must. This one cast and Unbind Wizard has a fantastic spell that will give a unit +1 to hit and wound, and can also choose to give a nearby unit a 6+ ward save as well, thanks to the Oracular Vision special rule. Really good in an army that generally doesn't have a good armor save with all these Darkoath models here. The 8-fold Doom Sigil is one of the many different endless spells available to the Slaves to Darkness. This particular spell is to power up by enemies dying nearby it, and much like your Wilderfiend in that case, which is pretty cool, you can double up on that. By powering up this endless spell as well, you can potentially give out bonus attacks to nearby Slaves to Darkness units. The Darkoath Savages are a different Chaos Marauder unit you can take, a mix of a few different models due to being one of the bespoke Warcry warbands. They have a few different damage profiles on their weapons and melee. Regardless though, you'll potentially be able to deal some mortal wounds whenever you roll an unmodified 6 to hit, in addition to any other damage you do. The Oath of Conquest is completed when they control an objective your opponent previously controlled it, and this will grant them a 5+ ward save for the rest of the battle. Lastly is a behemoth known as the Chaos Warshrine, which is also a priest. Its melee profile is okay, but somewhat lacking for a monster, but the ability this model has to buff up nearby friendly units is why you're taking it anyway. Protection of Chaos will grant nearby units a ward save of 6+, great for your low save Darkoath units, and access to a wide variety of prayers that can do all manner of different things, from halving models that flee from battle shock, giving +1 to your charge rolls, making your unit harder to wound, or making your unit be able to wound enemies easier, or even giving your units a 3d6 charge range. And so, our force today is going to be the Slaves to Darkness, as you would expect, and we're going to be playing in the Ravagers sub-faction, which is cool because it allows us to bring back some of our slain Darkoath units during the game. Our Chaos Sorcerer Lord will be our General, and they're going to have the spell Levitate, and then we've also got the Arch Sorcerer command trait, which gives us access to the entire Slaves to Darkness spell lore. We then have our Darkoath Chieftain on Warsteed with the Conqueror's Crown. This stops enemy units with 1 or 2 wounds being able to control or contest objectives nearby it. And moving in, we then have a unit of Darkoath Marauders, 20 models in the unit, so they've been reinforced. They've got Dark Iron Spears, and then a Champion Musician and Standard Bearer in there as well. We then have our second battle line option, which is a unit of Darkoath Savages, 10 models in the unit, and they've got a Slaughterborn, 2 Proven, and a God Speaker in there as well. Next, we have a unit of Darkoath Riders. This model has got 5 models in the unit, and we've got Marauder Javelins with a Champion Musician and Standard Bearer. Moving on, we have our Darkoath Wilderfiend. We have our Chaos Warshrine, which has taken the Prayer of Curse for some mortal wound output. And then we have the 8-fold Doom Sigil Endless spell. And grand strategy for the force is going to be Dominating Presence, which requires us to have units in each large table quarter at the end of the battle. We hope this video was helpful in getting you started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any other questions at all, please comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all our future Warhammer Age of Sigmar content.